Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with the third layout for my summer holiday challenge. This is the one that I posted a couple weeks ago on this channel, but also on my Facebook group. So I am here to show you the third layout. So I am using some Christmas products. These are all from Ellie Studio, or at least the majority of them are from Ellie Studio. And as you can see, I have all of these supplies laid out, but I also have four 4x6 like photo boxes. And those are where I house all of my cut apart die cuts or cut apart sheets from Ellie Studio. It's just the easiest way for me to store them and be able to sort through them. Now, I have this photo of Calen with Santa Claus, and I think I've told this story before, but it's the only photo I have with him and Santa Claus together. He is just not into taking photos with Santa Claus. He doesn't care about going to visit Santa Claus or anything like that. But his birthday is December 2nd, and my mom was up here visiting for his birthday one year, and we were at the mall just kind of looking around and shopping a little bit, and she said, "Oh, I would love to have a photo of you with Santa." And he was like, nope, not gonna happen. So she said, "I will give you," I think it was $5. "I will give you $5 if you take a picture with Santa." So he was like, "Okay." So that is the only reason I have a photo of him with Santa. Otherwise, I would not have one at all. So that's the story behind this photo. And I wanted to go ahead and get it in my scrapbook because, it's the only photo I have of him with Santa Claus. And so just thought it'd be nice to go ahead and get that in my album. So I have this red and white polka dot paper in the background, and then I have a piece of white cardstock, and then I have this 6x6 piece of paper, and this is from the American Crafts Valentine 6x6 pad. And as I mentioned before, the red and white polka dot paper is from Ellie Studio as well. It's from their 'Tis the Season collection, and the title of this particular paper is called Good Cheer. I'm going to cut off the border strip though, that fa la la la, and I'm actually going to use that on the layout as well. When I first cut it off, I was thinking, that's kind of a cool looking thing, and then I decided just to go ahead and include it. So I'm going to be using basically an 11.5 by 11.5 piece of white cardstock, and then I'm going to create a border here on the left and the top. Left side and the top of the layout, just to have that red and white border. And I'm just kind of trimming it down to make sure it's 12 by 12. Very simple, but I kind of like the red border. So this is really the basis of my layout. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start embellishing around. I've really enjoyed working with these holiday photos, especially now that it is summer. It's kind of nice to have just the reminder of the holidays because we're almost exactly 6 months away, or 6 months behind, whatever it is, from Christmas or from December. And that's where all of my photos have been from, pretty much, that time of year. So these are those 4x6 photo boxes that I mentioned where I keep my Ellie Studio die cuts. These are either die cuts, tags, tabs, or cut apart sheets. That's pretty much everything that's in here, but they're all from the Ellie Studio line. I like to keep certain manufacturers together, and I'm transitioning to keeping almost all my embellishments and papers sorted by manufacturer. Not everything, but most of the major ones. Just thought it'd be nice to kind of change it up and see how it affects my scrapbooking. Since I'm doing a lot of scrapbooking from my stash now, this has been a little bit different than what I've kind of done in the past. So I just wanted to see how it affected my scrapbooking. Maybe it'd make it a little bit easier to pull supplies together instead of sorting through absolutely everything. It may not, but I just thought I'd try it. Something different. A lot of people sort their supplies different ways, and I just thought it'd be nice to try this as something different. So I've kind of flipped through that box. I have 4 of those boxes, so I could have picked any of the 4 truly and just flipped through it to see what I could pull out, but I just pulled out a lot from here, and I kind of stayed, as you can see, in the gray, the white, the pink, and the red tones, and just different shades of each one of those. I also have this silver washi tape that I pulled out, and it is a silver glitter, but not a shedding glitter. Like, the glitter doesn't fall off. So I'm going to layer that down here at the bottom with the fa la 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 as well. I just want to create a little bit of a diagonal on the end, just so it's something different. This glitter tape does not tear, so if you want some sort of decorative end, you have to either cut it or punch it or something. Actually, I don't even know if you could punch through this. I believe I got that at the dollar spot at Target, and it's actually been one of my favorite glitter tapes so far. I like that it's more of a white silver versus a gray silver, because I mean there's definitely a difference, and I just happen to really like the shade of this silver one, and it's got like really fine glitter on it, not chunky pieces of glitter. I'm just layering that border strip, and if you look closely you can see that there is a slight red border at the top of the Fa La 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 strip. Just from where I cut it, it wasn't exactly cut to the seam of the white and the red. I've got those down there. Okay, so this layout's really coming together. I've kind of been in a more of a simplistic scrapbooking style. I say that, but that's not really what's come out of my scrapbooking. But in my mind, I've been kind of leaning a little bit more towards simplistic scrapbooking. I just have really been drawn to layouts that people make that are a little bit more on the simplistic side, maybe with more white backgrounds and less embellishing. And so that's kind of what I've had in mind here. I think my last layout is really going to be a little bit more indicative of that. I kind of get a little bit more creative in my last layout and try something a little bit different, and it by far has been my favorite one that I've created for this challenge. But you will see that probably, hopefully tomorrow, if I can get everything up and running. I'm having a really hard time. Oh wow, look at this pile of Ellie's Studio cards. I needed a journaling spot. I like that Good Times little tag, but it's too small. It's just not big enough for what I want. So I'm flipping through my cards here, and there's a lot of different cards. There's a lot of themed ones, but a lot of unthemed ones, and I'm just kind of flipping through to see what I like. I really have enough possible ones sitting there that I don't need to flip through all these other ones, but you know, it's just kind of nice to flip through what you've got, so I'm going to do it anyways. But what I was going to say is I have had plenty of time to scrapbook, but not so much time to sit here and do voiceovers or to do live scrapbooking, like a share video or something like that. I've tried to get them in when I can, but it's really hard to get quiet time around my house, and I cannot do the voiceovers or the like live videos unless it's quiet. I've got Calen sitting right here next to me, as you probably have heard him coughing and singing a little bit, but the only reason it's quiet is because he's playing on the iPad and he has his headphones on, and I don't like confining my child to the iPad. But we have been out at the pool all morning. This is actually Saturday that I'm doing this finishing up this video for you guys. It's Saturday, Memorial Day, the Saturday before Memorial Day, or Memorial Day weekend, whatever you want to say. And we've been at the pool all morning, so we needed some time inside, out of the sun, in the shade, and a little bit quieter. So I'm trying to get some videos up for you guys. I've really enjoyed scrapbooking here recently. It's just been kind of nice to have little bits and pieces of time that I do some pages, but as I said, it's hard to get the videos, the voiceovers done, because it's just not quiet at my house. And as any of you parents know, it's going to get worse now that we're closer to summer. He has 2 more weeks of school before he's out, and then after that it's just going to be even worse because he's going to be home all the time. But he does have summer camp this summer. So anyways, that's a long drawn out explanation of why you're hearing things in the background. So on this layout, as you can see, I have actually taken a moment just to go over to my computer and type up my journaling. Another thing that I've been really drawn to, and I think this kind of goes in line with the simplistic style, is typed journaling. I like the uniformity of typed journaling, but I usually don't do it because I don't pre-plan my layouts. I pre-plan what supplies I may use, but I don't necessarily pre-plan the layout itself. So I had typed up the journaling, and I had typed it and put it in 2 different fonts and 2 different sizes just to see what worked best. And I think this is what's going to work. And I still haven't totally narrowed down which card I'm going to use, but I think I'm going to end up using that card in the background with the bolder red. And it says, yeah, about that. And it kind of fits, like it just kind of works with what I want, what the story is, as I had mentioned to you. Now the border's a little bit larger, so I'm just outlining the inside of that with my Sharpie. And then I'm going to trim off the printed borders, just so it's a little bit more narrow to fit on that card. So I'll read you the journaling. It just says, yeah, about that, ... This is the one and only photo of Calen with Santa. He's just not a fan of talking to people he doesn't know, Santa included. Well, today Grandma suggested he take a photo with Santa. He immediately said no. So she said, "I'll give you $1 if you do." Oh, it was only $1. "I'll give you $1 if you do," trying to bribe him. And wouldn't you know, it worked. That little stinker. And that's why I have that limited edition die cut at the top. That actually came off of some LA Studio packaging. That's not an actual die cut, but I just thought it was funny because, yeah, this is limited edition. It only happened once, and there are no more photos of this. It just kind of fit with the story. So I'm just adding my last little bit of embellishing to this layout. As you can see that it has, most of it are the larger foundation elements, I guess you could say, where it's the background or it's the journaling or it's the photo mat. There's a lot of foundation pieces here and not very many extra embellishing. Now I am going to be doing some more embellishing, but a lot of what's going on here are very simple kind of basic things that are adding to the overall design, but not heavily embellished, to be honest with you. Doing some stamping. I've got this one that says Picture Perfect, and this is an LA Studio stamp set. I think it is I'm trying to remember which stamp set this is. I have one that's not titled, and then I have one that is the Sunny Days stamp set. But that's not this one. I'm going to use some hearts down here in a moment to stamp at the bottom, and that'll be from the Sunny Days one. Now, I pulled out this Doodlebug mini paper clip. It's in Beetle Black, I believe. And I ended up ripping my card, which I was really kind of bummed about. And I flipped through my other cards to see if I have an additional one of these. I actually have a lot of duplicate cards, and wouldn't you know, this isn't one of them. So I just tore that card off, put some washi tape on the back of it where I had ripped it, and then layered that paper clip back over it. And you really can't tell. If you look close enough, you probably could see it, but you really can't not tell where it's ripped. I stamped another little word strip that says True Story. That's going to be right here at the bottom. And then this one up here says Picture Perfect. And then I want to put the date somewhere, but I have this one heart die cut that says this, and then I have a couple other heart ones. I'm trying to see if I can make them work around the page, but that one's a little large. So I'm going to pull out these small heart ones from the Joyful sticker sheet from LA Studio, and I'm just going to layer those. I've got a bunch of little sticker sheets. These are puffy stickers from LA Studio, and I like these. These are a little bit different. These are fairly new. Well, I guess it came out last year, but these are one of the newer products that Ellie has been offering in her shop, and I really like them. All right, I've got these Simple Stories. Are they Simple Stories? No, these are My Mind's Eye, Sleigh Bells, Alpha, and word stickers, and they're Christmas-themed word strips at the bottom. I'm not going to use those. I'm just using this chalkboard black and white Alpha here at the top, and I'm going to put Love That Boy as my little subtitle, or as my title. You can really say any of these things are my title. It could be limited edition. It could be Yeah About That. But this is going to say Love That Boy, and it's really kind of my title, I suppose you could say, down here at the bottom. And I also like the fact that it's bringing a darker element down here. It plays off the chalkboard paper that's kind of my photo mat. There's a lot of darkness in the photo as well, in the chair that Santa's sitting on. And I like that it brings another dark element down here to the bottom. I feel like it adds a little bit more of a border than those border strips actually do. Still fiddling around with trying to figure out where to add the date. So there is a 2015 right here on the photo itself, but I don't like that. I don't exactly know why, but I don't like the way that 2015 is printed on the photo. So I had pulled out my roller date stamp, and this is another one of those products. I've mentioned this multiple times where there are certain products that I don't have that are basic products that I need, and I just haven't gotten them. So there's this. I don't have a roller date stamp that does not have sentiments on it, and I don't like the sentiments that are on here. This is a Christmas one. I don't like it. So I just covered up the words on the stamp, and I just stamped December 2nd, 2015, and I had put it on this die cut that said photograph date, but it was a little large, so I just trimmed it down to only have the date, and it's a red border on the top and the bottom of the date, but I'm going to layer that over the 2015 date that's already on this photo, and I like that much better. The puffy stickers that I added, that one overlapping the heart, the XO and the heart says today, and then there's the one at the top that's a circle that says real life. I really wanted to make this camera acrylic camera work, but I couldn't find an exact place for it, and it was too dark next to the Love That Boy. I keep putting it down and lifting it back up and putting it down and lifting it back up. And since it was his birthday, I had thought about using that wood veneer 5 that you see on the bottom left of the screen, but it doesn't make it either. Now this is that Sunny Day stamp set that I mentioned a moment ago, and there are these little hearts, and so I'm going to stamp that right next to this Love That Boy. And that'll be my third space for stamping on this layout. I have the 2 word strips, and then I have that. And I guess it's the 4th because I also stamped the date. And then that finishes out the stamping. So as this layout comes to an end, I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you are participating in my holiday challenge, summer holiday challenge. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go look in the description box below, and there will be links to all the videos that are related to this, because I also have a giveaway that's associated. So make sure you go back and enter in the giveaway as well. It will run through Wednesday, the 31st of March. I believe that's Wednesday, whatever day the 31st is. And that is the last day that you can enter into the giveaway. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, as I mentioned before, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.